Gentlemen, I am struggling with my color, with my camera here. I've been moving all over. How are you?
Well, we're well. It's better. It's not too bad.
Mm, mm,
I think
mm,
it's
mm.
it's doable.
Ntange, how are you?
I think his mic is off.
You're on mute.
Sorry. Hey, I'm good. Mhlobam akho kunjani?
No, ndiyaphila. To our viewers, good evening. We're shooting on a Thursday. We would like to apologize for missing three games. Three games whereby two of them were not positive results, and one of them was a positive result from the game against Sekhukhune, which we'll touch briefly on. It was just all of us were going through circumstances whereby we couldn't actually get to meet at the same time. So we hope you take our apologies. It's not something that we take lightly, that we bring in content for us and also for you to enjoy. Otherwise, gents, let me kick this off. I'll be dealing with a bit of this Sekhukhune game. And then we move straight off to the big one on Saturday against Kaizer Chiefs, the Soweto Derby. Let me start with you, Mdange. Briefly, Sekhukhune, how did you see the game and what are your thoughts around that particular game?
Yeah, I thought that game with Sekhukhune was gonna be one of those games where we just play a dull nil draw, or maybe they can just sneak a late goal into the game because there was a scare first half that sitter by Ohizu. I thought that was in. I thought that was in carelessness in the middle of the park, which resulted in the Sekhukhune almost capitalizing on that and punishing us heavily. But hopefully, I mean, luckily for us, I think as Myanmar, they were with us on that day. They really wanted us to win. Sekhukhune, it's a game when I'm where we almost made things very difficult for ourselves. It was going to be one of those games where the fans were going to put the blame on the coach and say Jose Rivero this, Jose Rivero that. But when in actual fact, we all saw our players missing easy opportunities. There were about two or three clear-cut chances in Bethlehem, which any team, any forward or midfielder should just bury a chance in here. But our players making things very, very difficult. I'm glad in Bethlehem we won that game. Yes, the game that we won against Sekhukhune, we should have won the game against Spurs exactly the same way if we had converted our chances. But Pirates being Pirates, they will just do things that you are not expecting them to do. But luckily, we won the game, and I'm happy. You need to convert those clear-cut headers because even against Spurs, he had a chance like that. Even in the final against Sundowns, he had a chance where some defenders that are known for scoring goals I will say Umthetho will put that behind the back of the net. Also against Amazulu, there was a chance for Olisanda. Ikor also against Sekhukhune, but I think he will need to improve on that best. But that's just my thought on that game. There were a couple of improvements also.
Nelson?
Sure, Mawande and Dange. Thanks for this opportunity, man. Sekhukhune game, we played well. We kept the ball. We kept the ball rotating. I think we had 70% of the ball possession. But I'm still not very convinced that we are creating chances that would make us win the games. We do get box entries, but I'm still not convinced that with the type of quality that we have and the type of players that we have, we should be getting just box entries, but not those one-on-one or clear-cut chances. I think the long and short of it is that I think the players are overdoing it. There's some instances where just one touch is enough. When players are in the box, sometimes they want to have too many touches. We don't have a lot of shots at goals. And I actually said this when I was watching that game against Sekhukhune, that sometimes we love ball players, but sometimes having a lot of ball players can be a disadvantage in the game because we become a lot more predictable. When you're having a ball player like Maswanganyi, you're having a Kamvuidi. One thing I appreciate about Lorch is that he can be a ball player. He can play it simple sometimes. Sometimes you just need to play it one touch. You don't need to always over carry the ball. You don't always have to over carry the ball and have an extra touch. So one thing I love about Lorch is his intelligence to know instances and to choose these moments when to play it simple, when to play a one touch, when to over carry the ball. But yes, I think second half, the introduction of the young Mufukeng, the introduction of Otladisa and Vincent Pule gave us, that directness that we needed in the game because Masangani and Kamvuri were overcarrying the ball and having too many touches, and we became very predictable. If you check the defense of Sekhukhune, Jima and Cardoso really had, especially in the second half, they just needed to close the space because they knew that these guys would overcarry the ball. And yeah, so Mufokeng, Utladisa, and Vincent Pule, with the intelligence of Lodge, of course, gave us a bit of directness where we needed to just play one touch, get into space, one touch, and shoot at goal. So yeah, I think that's what we need going forward. We don't really need to have a lot of ball players, especially when we're having guys like Ndlondlo, when we're having a Kamvuidi, when we're having Maswanganyi, all of them over carrying the ball. I think that becomes a bit too much. The old traditional way of playing is, you need one or two playmakers, that could actually be able to hold on to the ball more, and other players can just play it simple. So I think that's where we lacked. But I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the 3 points. I'm hoping that these 3 points will give us the confidence that we need going forward to go and win more games and hopefully improve our situation in the league. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you guys have touched on most of the parts. I felt that we controlled the game a bit better with a Ndlondlo back. Yeah, I felt that Lorch again was brilliant for me. He also showed a sense of urgency in that
Yes.
particular game and a lot of leadership. I saw him shouting at some players for misplacing passes. He was good. He was very good for me. The team was not bad, just like in our performance against Polokwane City. We did not play badly, especially the first half against Polokwane City was brilliant. It was much better than all of these games that have come in after. Should have beaten Cape Town Spears, Pirates being Pirates, and letting these teams make a name for themselves using our name, as always is the case happened. Uh, the game against Sekhukhune was a very tough one because they are such an awkward team to play against. So how we won did not matter that much for me. We needed the 3 points because the coach is under massive pressure. It's under pressure to deliver. So it was a good 3 points to get. I felt we had control, as I'm saying. I except for that one chance that they had in the first half that Dange mentioned, I can't really remember a chance that they had again that was clinical. And also what you're saying, Nelson, that we're not creating enough clear-cut chances. I agree with you. We're creating a lot of half chances. We're not really breaking down teams who want to sit and absorb us. We're not really doing that at a consistent rate. Kamvuidi, Maswanganya carrying the ball in the wrong areas. It's fine if you carry the ball in the final third, whereby you'll invite free kicks. But if you're gonna carry it all the time from the middle of the park or from your own half, then it's by the time you get to the half, your energy is finished. You're overdoing it. You understand? I don't think Maswanganya had a bad game, by the way. I think in terms of carrying, he was our best carrier. It's just that I do think that in that particular game, he was in the wrong areas. He was not in the areas whereby he could give us something. So I don't think he had a bad game. I see people are on his back, but in the game against Sekhukhune, it was not a bad game. It was just that the carrying, and as I said, out wide, I feel we're wasting him. When we're playing him out wide, he will not offer us as much as what I think he can offer us with the X factor through the number 10 position. Otherwise, good win. We take it. We move to the next game. Next game is
Yeah.
what we're discussing now. Mdange, the Soweto Derby. What does it mean for you? And what are you looking forward to this coming weekend?
Mbehle, judging by indlela ebesidlale ngayo in our last 4 or 5 league games, Derby, I find myself saying it's a must win. Forget the fact that we've been losing derbies to Kaiser Chiefs, unnecessary food in Mbehle. But from
Not even
Naxeko,
not to cut you, not even unnecessary. Add that we've been losing derbies in a way that no one can understand how we are losing derbies. I see. Oh,
I
no one can
yes,
understand how we're losing derbies.
I, I, yes, Bentley, I don't even think the Chiefs fans can explain how they won the last two derbies. I can understand the derby where they beat us with their coach. Who's that guy from Scotland? Stuart Baxter. But the one we lost to others one, that own goal, Olisanda, that Yusuf Mat goal. Yes, basically, if football in this man, you can just sometimes I don't understand what's going on. But going to a derby, basically, it's a must-win derby. We have to beat Kaiser Chiefs, and it's one of those games that we spoke about. Games that Coach Jose Rivero needs to win at all costs. He needs to prove to us what he can win big games.
I think Mdange is having flu. You can take over, Nelson. Derby, what does it mean to you? And what do you think of this weekend's game?
Sure. Yeah, as Mdangi has said, already said that we seem to be I don't know, our players, especially in the league. We beat Chiefs as last season semi-finals of the Nedbank Cup. But in the league, we struggled to actually play against Chiefs, and we struggled to get results against Chiefs last season. And I think this is an opportunity for Jose to actually prove his worth. Because I can tell you now that he's not going to be forgiven for losing against Kaiser Chiefs. We haven't really been playing well in the past 5 games or so, and we were knocked out of the Culling knockout. But losing against Kaiser Chiefs now will actually put him in a lot more pressure than he already is. So I'm just hoping that he will. I'm just hoping that he's going to take this game with the seriousness that it actually deserves. I'm hoping that the players are also mentally fit and mentally strong to be able to play this game on Saturday, not to play the occasion, but to play and adapt to the demands of the game on Saturday. So for me, it's derby or death. I know it's been league or death throughout, but for me right now it's derby or death. That's how much it means to me right now.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
Mdange,
sorry
if you
man.
want to continue.
Yeah, sorry. I'm having a sinus, guy, and I don't know. I've been fine the whole day, but I don't know. I've been sneezing
It
nonstop
it
since the show
must
started.
be it must be Kaiser Chiefs. It must be Kaiser Chiefs. Don't let it happen. Don't do it.
Nelson has said the mouthful. He spoke about it. It's derby or death. We need to beat Kaiser Chiefs, guys. We need to beat Kaiser Chiefs. I know, Guti, a derby can go either way, especially uh, when the results hasn't been good on both teams. Because results, honestly, has been good for the Pirates, hasn't been good on Kaiser Chiefs. So they'll be looking to win the derby. But Orlando Pirates needs to win the derby because we haven't won a derby in a very, very long time. The last time we played them in the NetBank Cup, I was kind of impressed because we didn't allow Kaizer Chiefs to win that game. That's the only thing that we need to do to win a derby. Don't allow Kaizer Chiefs to win the derby. But Orlando Pirates players also need, like Nelson said, don't play the occasion, play the game. The last time we played the Kaizer Chiefs in the two league games, I was kind of disappointed with the Miguel team. But in the next Cup game, Miguel team played the game. He didn't play the occasion because I remember he got a yellow card in the first half of the game, but he managed to play 120 minutes without receiving a second yellow card, meaning that he adapted and he knew Guti, this is one game that we needed to win. So going to a game against the Chiefs, Jose needs to redeem himself. He needs to prove to us Guti he can win big games that we are expecting him to win because he's proven Uguti can beat Sundowns in the cup competition, but he hasn't proven to us Uguti can beat Sundowns in the league. So this is his opportunity to show us Uguti we can win games that are so important to us fans. Except the cup final. This is one game that means a lot to Orlando Pirates fans. And I'm sure Uguti Ucho Rivera, wherever he is, he will set up, he line up a good that is formidable enough, that is good enough to beat the Kaiser Chiefs because I see no reason, Betty, for Orlando Pirates to go to lose the two Kaiser Chiefs. Yes, we lost to Cape Town Spurs, we lost to Stellenbosch, we lost to Sundowns, but I see no reason, Betty, why we can't beat Kaiser Chiefs this time around. We need to beat Kaiser Chiefs. That's all I can say, my man.
Yeah, I agree with you guys as well that we definitely it's a must-win game for us. I will not speak for Kaiser Chiefs; they will speak for themselves. I think though it's a must-win game for them as well because they've just not like us started the season well. I just think it's slightly worse on their side because of the amount of games that they played, but it's a game that we have to win on our side. And for me, not just win, we need to beat Kaiser Chiefs in a way that after the game is finished, Kaiser Chiefs can say that we did not even deserve to get the score that we got out of this game. We need to dismantle them, and it's one game that I think will get our confidence back to play the way that we started to play at the beginning of the season because
Mm,
we've not been playing football. So this is the correct platform for these players to reconnect with how they're supposed to play the game and beat Kaiser Chiefs and beat Kaiser Chiefs convincingly and beat Kaiser Chiefs out of the park, if I can say it like that. And the only way we can do that is like you guys have mentioned, we need to play the game as any other game and not really get absorbed by the occasion and the atmosphere around.
mm,
So it's quite important that we do not do anything unnecessary. I've
mm,
seen that the keeper that we have now, contrary to popular belief, as we said, is not very good with his feet. He does not look like he's very different from the Kaiser Chiefs
oof,
keeper with his feet, Peterson. So let's not do unnecessary things and
mm,
overplay him with his feet. I've seen that. I'm not convinced with his feet. So let's not do unnecessary thing and get him involved too much in that aspect of our game, even
mm,
though It's part of our game. Let's use Nda. We did not have a defender like Nda who carried out and had his passing ability. So let's try and use that as a reverse of what we do not have as a goalkeeper. We must not allow them to score first, because if they score first, they're going to be in a rearguard defensive shape, and we have seen how much we struggle with teams who do that to us. Our advantage is that Kaiser Chiefs come into games against us because of the crowd pressure and want to take us on. So, sorry, there was a fly. So, we must use that to our advantage. There will be spaces for us to operate. If we allow them to score first, it's going to be a very, very difficult and frustrating day for us. So for me, that's just how I see the derby. Yeah. Quickly, Nelson. Okay, let's do it like this. Nelson, you say the goalkeeper and your 4 defenders. Ndange, your 3 midfielders. I'll say the 3 attackers. Let's build a team together and see how close we get to the team that's gonna come on Saturday, and reflect back on that team when we're actually doing the post match. So over to you, Nelson.
I was hoping that you'll give me middle fielders, because with the defense,
You are on.
you're killing me. But it's fine. I think I think because of China is not back, ne? He's not back. Obviously, China would be my obvious choice in the posts. But if he's not back, I think let's just give it to Buteles, even though I'm not really convinced with him as well. Yeah, I'm one supporter who has been advocating that he gets a chance, but I think he
Butelis,
still needs
man.
a bit of.
Hey,
Am I good? I know.
you're on
I
mute,
know.
Mdang. Hey, it
Well,
seems like
I was
it
saying,
seems like a ticking bomb ready to explode, but maybe with confidence it will
I was
improve.
I was actually disturbing Nelson. I'm saying to Butelis, welcome to Orlando Pirates. You won't get 15 games like a Chess Galaxy. You'll only get 1 or 2, and then we'll be on your case. So
I think it's jitters as well. I think
Yes.
he's just afraid of making mistakes. I think that's what
mistake,
happens
yes,
Yes.
every time
yeah.
we have new keepers. It's just the pressure that
The
comes
pressure.
with the football club. There's a lot of pressure that comes with this football club. So
Welcome.
Nelson, you can continue
No, but
though.
I think he'll come alright. He'll come alright. Yeah, I think CBC and Da, I was actually impressed with their partnership against Sekhukhune. Sekhukhune didn't have a lot of chances. Obviously, they would always want to get us on a counter and on transition, because obviously we were always going to dominate that game. So I think they managed Sekhukhune well. So I'd start with a CBC and Da, and Hoto on the left back. I'm not sure what's happening with Marco. Is it injured or what?
I think they injured. Both our left backs are injured.
Yeah, they're
Oh yeah.
injured.
So Hoto obviously will become the obvious choice on the left channel, and I would start with a Munyani. I would want to start with a Shandu,
I have a
but
question
because
after what we're gonna say.
okay, I would want to start with a Shandu, but because of the confidence that Munyani displayed on Tuesday, and the goal that he scored, I would give him a nod. But I think defensively Shandu is slightly better. But yeah, I'll start with a Munyani for this game. Those are my 4 defenders and the goalkeeper.
I'm just gonna track out, gentlemen. There's a substitution that frustrates me. Why are we doing it every game? What's the purpose of it?
And I know that substitution. You didn't even mention names, but I know that substitution. And is that one that happens at right back?
I
Why are we doing
Nami,
that?
that's the substitution.
Yeah,
Why are
yes.
we doing that?
There was a tweet. I don't know by who. I think it was Carlo. Yeah, I think it was Carlo. He explained to Gumuguti why maybe Ucho is doing that, because he's saying modern football, la position of playing left back and right back is taxing. physically. And fitness-wise. So he was saying, teams, they will introduce their fast wingers maybe late in the second half, maybe in the 70th minute, 80th minute, and Umonyane by that time has been running up and down the right flank. So he has to introduce fresh legs in order to keep up with the opposition. So I kind of understood explanation like Uskalo, because it really makes sense. Because if you watch Sekhukhune, they introduced a couple of speeders in the second half. But when they got the goal late in the game, I think it's 79th minute, but you could see that he wasn't running up and down as he was doing first half. So for me, explanation as Carlo made sense to me, but I don't know.
We make that substitution every game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the conditions. We make that substitution at every game.
It's like it's one of those substitutions that we know before the game starts that around the 70th
that one is coming. That one is coming for sure. In the debut, that one is coming. It must be. It really must be nice being Shandu Omonyane. You know that you're gonna play.
Yep. You're gonna play, and then
I'm done. We're waiting for you. What's you will win. You will win or lose us this game because you are controlling the engine.
Pressure.
Yeah, let's see what you've got.
For me, guys, excuse me.
That will be your 6, your 8, your 10, your midfield 3.
Yes, if this was just any other game where we had disciplined players there, I would play Miguel team as our defensive midfielder. In front of him, I would play Ukim Vidi and then play Umasangani as a 10. But knowing Ukim Vidi and how he was losing balls cheaply in our previous 2 games, I wouldn't trust him for that position to play alongside Miguel team, because I want to play Miguel team alongside someone who's gonna help him win Ebola, and someone who's gonna contribute for us going forward. So for me, man, I'll choose the combination of Miguel team and Dabaiteto and Zonjo and Maswangani. I think that will be my midfield 3. I will choose Miguel team over Munari. I will choose Miguel team over Munari, and then Dabaiteto and Zonjo, and also Umaswangani as a 10 or as an 8.
Question: why team over Munari? What swayed your thinking and your decision for this particular game?
I want someone who's gonna win Ebola, who's gonna collect Ebola from our defenders and play forward passes, and not a lot of sideway passes that are not gonna contribute us winning the game. I want someone who's gonna help us also in attack. Someone who's gonna make forward passes, because this is not one game that we're gonna need to play sideways passes. We need to play forward passes. We need to win the game when I need to make a team for this game, not tomorrow.
Okay. Forward, it's a very tough one. On the after the game on Tuesday, I was very impressed with Vincent Pule's cameo as a false 9, and I went on Facebook and said that they must start. I was wrong. I do not think that should happen. I came back to my senses. I do not think we should start. I do not think we should start a Vincent Pule as a false 9, even though it worked on Tuesday. Lorch coming from the left. Monapule Saleng coming from the right. I know it's shock, but Monapule Saleng coming from the right. Mahopa, I don't know what to say anymore about our strikers. I really don't know what to say. I want Mahopa to get his chances, but
don't blame, Beth. Don't blame.
No. For me, if Kemi Terasmus is fit, Kemi Terasmus must start as a 9.
Yes. Now you know ball. Now you know ball
If
best.
Kemi, no, not as a 10. I hate this thing of playing Kemi Terasmus and the striker. We are actually deploying
As a
ourselves
10.
to be playing with. Yeah, if let's let him go out there as a 9. If he fails or he gets tired, take him out. So if his feet play Kemi Terasmus as a 9, he's also going to give us the ability to just play because he is a player. He can play, he can interchange. The reason I am saying Saleng is because I do not want us to have too many of the same players. Lorch is going to be our ball player. Erasmus is going to offer us that particular aspect, as well as just an aspect of and Maswangani is also going to offer us ball playing.
Yeah.
I need us to allow Saleng to be the player that he was. We need to get him to attack the spaces more, you understand?
Yeah.
And also just for his goal prowess, I still think he's the best finisher in the football club. I think that he offers us something better as a starter more than as a substitute.
As an impact player, okay.
Yeah. So for me, that's why I'm just saying that we should use him also for his pace and work rate out wide. We need to use that because Lorch and Maswanganya are not going to offer us much of that, whether they're coming from the wide or central areas. So that is why I'm choosing a Saleng to come in from the right, from our right-hand channel, the Chiefs left-hand channel, and I put my head on the block. He's going to score a goal on Saturday. If he starts, he's going to score a goal. If he doesn't start, he's not going to score. So, yeah, that's mine. But I don't think my front three is going to start, to be honest with you. I don't think out of nowhere, Kemi Terasmus is going to, well, not out of nowhere. I don't think it's just going to come out. I think it's going to start with Umahop. I hope not. Because this is one game, if he misses even a single chance after Kaiser Chiefs score first, it's already been brewing. It's already been coming, as I've been alluding in previous episodes, and it came. It's gonna go overboard. It will go overboard.
Sure.
It's gonna get all of the abuse. So
which was the need to save Mahopa in this derby.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to get saved. I think he needs to get saved. Young Mofokeng must come in. Vincent Pule for experience, I think he must come in as well. But depending on the game, how the game is going, you understand, I don't want us to have a fixed mindset of who must come in and who must not come in. But I wouldn't be surprised if a brave decision was made to start Mofokeng in place of Maswangani.
I was coming there. I
wouldn't be surprised.
Would you guys complain? Or would you guys be shocked or surprised if Ucho was the start Mofokeng in this game?
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I just hope the boy doesn't play the occasion because his for me is our second or top 3 most intelligent player. And also he mustn't pass to his idol when there are other players who are better positioned in a 4-against-2 game.
He passes to his father, that boy. He passes to his father.
No. He mustn't do that. We're supposed to have won 2-0. He passed to Lorch when there was a better player who was best suited for that particular pass.
But yes, just to add something, you said he mustn't play the occasion. He must play the game. I don't think what I'm saying there's any game that can now prompt Mofokeng to play the occasion, because remember when he came in as a sub against Sundowns in the final.
Sundowns, he played well.
I don't think there's any game that was bigger than that game, and Mofokeng played the game in that final. He played the game and he played really well. So I don't think he will now lose the plot and play the occasion in the derby where he played so well in the final against Sundowns. So for me, I think the boy knows the game, and I think he will do something. And in the TDC, he once scored a brace in a derby. So I think it kind of knows
Is
derby
Mdange
than
gone?
TDC.
Oh.
So Mufokeng. So if Mufokeng starts, or even if he comes as a substitute, I think he owes us a goal. Another person who owes us a goal is Osanda. He owes us a header. He needs to score against.
He must score on the right end. Hey, I was gonna
He will.
before I was gonna close. I was gonna say, let's say a prayer for Olisanda. He's gonna play a derby. He's gonna play a derby, and
don't worry. Olisanda is gonna score his first Orlando Pirates goal in the derby on Saturday. Olisanda is gonna score on Saturday. He's gonna.
You remember he nearly scored though in the Orlando Stadium derby. It hit the post, and I was out celebrating only to find out that it didn't go in. That was unlucky. That was very unlucky.
Will score. You will score a header in the derby. You will score. You will score. But
hopefully, we'll say a small prayer for him. But let's be careful.
We need a prayer because they're gonna bring Dupree. So we need a prayer for him.
I think is injured.
Then Chiefs must start Saile so that he tires out by the second half.
Yeah,
and then we'll have them
Saile must start.
Because if he comes second half and Hoto is starting with his tricks of flipping a ball of something he's never done, they will be in trouble. I don't know the things Hoto do sometimes if you think about it in the pitch.
Yeah, but also we must be careful of over-carrying the balls, eh? Remember the derby we lost against Kaizer Chiefs where they beat Mponjani with a 70-meter ball where when drawn in the middle of the park, he over-carried the ball and they won the ball in the middle of the park. We must be very careful of that as well. So Maswanganye, it's a warning to Maswanganye and especially these two, Maswanganye and Ndlondlo. This over-carrying of the ball, it must not cost us. We are not going to forgive them if it happens on Saturday. This is one game.
Yeah, the players are in trouble if we lose on Saturday. I don't want to lie to you.
They will be in trouble. They will be in massive trouble.
They must just know where else in Uguti. Any mistake in a derby, we are forgiven Olisanda for reasons as was it why we forgave him. But if they commit any silly mistake, if they do any nonsense in the derby, do not forgive them. Remember what we said to them prior to the final against Sundowns, where we said this is one game that you just need to leave your nonsense at home. If you know Guti, you like doing tricks, leave that for that 90 minutes. You can do it in a game against Polokwane City, against Golden Arrows is fine. But in a game against Sundowns, in a game against Kaizer Chiefs, just behave. Just be on your normal behavior. Just do simple stuff, man. Keep it simple and see if the fans don't appreciate you. See if the fans don't love you. See if the team won't win the game. Yeah, but just don't do silly stuff, things that you don't know. 2 years ago, I asked you, if you know I can't do 1 and 2, then leave it out. Keep it simple. This is a derby. This is one game that will build you. This is one game that will kill you forever. You must ask the players. Ask Upochan. He knows it's derby. He knows Upochan. He made one mistake in the derby, and if fans, even today, they still haven't forgiven Upochan. So, if players will think, I'm a fan favorite, I can do anything I want in the derby, they must ask Lorch why we love Lorch, why we call Lorch the breadwinner, because Lorch will underperform in 10 games, but when it comes to a derby, Thembinkosi Lorch will show you what a derby is. So that's why we love Thembinkosi so much. That's why we say he's our breadwinner. So they must ask Thembinkosi Lorch, also ask Upochan.
I'm so happy we're playing them with him.
Yeah.
Fully fit. I'm so happy we're playing them with him. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since they got a taste of him and what he can do. I'm sure they'll be very wary of what he can produce. Very wary of what he can produce. Yeah, Pule is not gonna start, I think. Nelson, do you have anything to add before we close?
No, not much. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. But yeah, let's go out there, boys. Let's win this one for us, the fans, and also win it for Jose, boys. Win it for Jose. I think he's been a good coach for us. Obviously, we have had a rough patch. in the past, 8 or so games. But I just wish the players could just give it their all to save this guy's job. I think he deserves it. If there's one coach who deserves, players giving it their all, is this guy, especially with this game. So the players must just save this guy's job, because after this, I think it's going to be very difficult for him. So good luck to the boys. Let's play it. Let's give it our all, and let's get the 3 points. And if we get the 3 points against Kaizer Chiefs, it's going to set the tone for the rest of the season, and I think we're going to do well for the rest of the season. So let's do all. Let's do everything that is needed for us to get the 3 points. If it means playing dirty, play dirty. It doesn't have to be pretty at all. It doesn't have to be pretty. Let's go out there and get the 3 points, boys. Thank you.
What's your score prediction?
2-1.
What's your score prediction, Dan?
3-1.
Then my score prediction is 4-1. Good night, gentlemen. We're gonna beat Kaizer Chiefs 4-1 on Saturday.
Good night.
Sure, good luck.
After bugs.
After bugs, sure.